All right, so a while back, I asked you guys if you wanted to see a video on Abercrombie, and a lot of you showed interest. So I went in store and I grabbed a bunch of items. I think I have at least 6 or 7 different things. My first impressions of all these items are really good. However, there are a few things that you should look out for and some things that I need to work on. I figured how I would do this is show you each one of the pickups and style them. Just throw them on, show you how it fits, because that's my biggest issue with Abercrombie. The sizing is crazy. I recommend that you guys go in store and check this stuff out. I've got stuff that's a size medium. I haven't worn a medium in forever, and I've got stuff that's an extra large. So anytime there's that big of a gap sizing wise, you really should try it on in store. Abercrombie's are everywhere, so you probably have one local. There's a few things that I don't like, but there's way more that I was impressed with. So I'm gonna show you each one of the items that I went ahead and grabbed. How I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna show you each piece, but I'm gonna style them all. And going with those outfits is gonna be a bunch of New Balance. So I'm gonna show you the pairs. I literally went in my collection, grabbed 5 different pairs that I'm gonna throw on with these items. Let me show them to you real quick. I got some 550s here. These are the Aime Leon Dore collaboration. And there's definitely a connection between Aime Leon Dore and Abercrombie that we're gonna talk about here. Then we've got some 574s. These are the Wheats, the rugged edition that New Balance just released not long ago. For the rest of these pairs, I'm gonna link them for you down in the description because New Balance has been killing it recently, and it just feels right to style Abercrombie with New Balance. I haven't worn these yet, but I've been eager to throw them on feet, so I'm gonna style them for you here. Just some forest green 574s, a really nice affordable option. And then these are beautiful, some 996s in tan. You'll see that earth tones and light oatmeal cream off-white colors are very consistent with Abercrombie style, and it's something that I'm feeling right now, so I'm definitely gonna throw these on feet. And then we've got some burgundy 992s that'll go well with earth tones, and I just love this shoe. It's so nice. I haven't been able to wear my New Balance. I've been telling you guys this. I'm going a little crazy because obviously it's snowing outside. So if you wanna check out these or any New Balance drops, they'll be linked for you down in the description. The pants are from Everlane and Levi's. I guess I'll link those for you guys as well. But the main focus is Abercrombie, so let's dive into these pickups right now. Might as well start off with what I'm wearing. I've already shown it to you, so I'm gonna be real brief here. This is a forest green cardigan, and one of Abercrombie's biggest strengths is their cardigans. Not their sweaters, their cardigans. I'll touch more on that in a little bit. This one is a really soft material. It's a size large. For reference, I'm 6'2", 190 on weekends, 185 during the week. This is one of those items that you throw on and you're like, okay, I need it in every color. Now, one of the most important things about cardigans is to make sure it fits you correctly. The other is to make sure that it's not itchy. This is no wool. Also, 2 front pockets is nice. And this is how it looks unbuttoned if that is your style. Okay, next up we have one of their 90s relaxed fit flannels. And I did an entire video on flannels not too long ago, my favorite affordable options. And this definitely would have been on there, but I didn't know about it yet. There's a lot that I like about it, and there's a few things that I don't. For one, the sizing is off with this. I can't tell you the last time I bought a flannel in a size XL, but I could probably do an XL flannel here just because of the shoulders. They've got this consistent dropped shoulder, relaxed fit thing, and on certain items it definitely works. On others, they should just skip it. So for me in this size large, it feels a little bit tight on the shoulders. It doesn't look like it, but I can feel it. But I'm sure given the material, it will stretch out over time. It's this brushed cotton that most flannels are. The quality seems nice. I do like how they did the hem. It's more of a straight hem instead of that crazy U that some flannels have. The color is really nice and will go with a bunch of different things. Okay, next up, pretty much the same exact outfit, just switch the top. This one is great. It's got that same dropped shoulder and it works well here because that fit tends to work best on hoodies, sweatshirts, stuff with this material. This is a size large. The fit is on point. On the left side, you see Soho Athletic New York with a bicycler there embroidered in, and I like that a lot. You guys know my style. You've seen my personal brand. Honestly, this is something that I would use. This is the same material that the hoodies are. I didn't try one on, but I'd imagine they fit the same way. This one can do no wrong. This is easily my favorite pickup in the entire video. I've already worn it. If you're subscribed here and you saw my cool gray 11 video, I styled it with this sweater. The quality is great. It's super comfortable. And then obviously it's got this mountain range design on it. Absolutely beautiful. I like the fit. I've worn it a few times. It's held up well. A+. But where things start to fade off is with these sweaters. What I don't understand is the drastic drop off in quality of the shirt I'm wearing and these sweaters. I'm gonna start off with this guy first. Honestly, like this is what my mom would make me throw on as a kid when she wanted me to dress up. The problem is the quality and the fit. Like I've been saying, some of these items have a drop shoulder. This one seems to have a significant drop shoulder, and when you're wearing it, the pattern really shows it off because, you know, you've got this horizontal pattern here and then it just dips. The graphic itself with the snowflakes and the mountain range is pretty cool, but that is about it. I've worn it once and it's already starting to pill. It also collects any kind of dust or lint that you could imagine. Thankfully, my dog doesn't shed, because if he did, this thing would be covered. And then switching gears to this guy, it's a better quality than that sweater I just showed you, really soft, but you know, there's some issues with the fit as well. It seems a tad bit cheap. You heard me talking about you, bro? You like this sweater? What do you think? You like this sweater? Great, good spot. So I was willing to sacrifice all of that for the graphic that's on the front. The skier with the pine trees in the background, very cool. It's a size large, but the take home is go try this on if you want it and make your own decision. For me, I got greedy just because I like that graphic, but the fit is not as good as this cardigan. All right, so last but certainly not least is this MAC top coat. Listen, they were so close with this one, really close. This could have been one of the best jackets to buy this year. There was a few things that I didn't like about it. Obviously, I liked it enough to still buy it though. So the retail price on this guy was $220. I think it was 30% off everything. Let's start with the issues I have with it first. Again, the dropped shoulders. There's literally drop shoulders on everything that I've shown you, and most of it is just unnecessary. And then secondly, the sizing. This is a medium. I don't think I've ever bought a top coat, or any jacket for that matter, in a size medium. It fits huge. Now obviously that's part of the design, but they didn't take the arms into consideration. The arms are really short while the rest of the jacket is super long. Thankfully, I like it when you can see the cuff of the sweatshirt you're wearing underneath down by the arm. I think it adds an extra little touch. So the fit is off, but it didn't ruin the jacket for me. The pros outweigh it by far. For one, the quality is super nice, super nice. It's very soft, it feels premium, and from a lot of mall brands, it's hard to find something that feels premium. So they did a great job with that. It's lined really well. The houndstooth design on here is really similar to like vintage polo or Aime Leon Dore. And the reason why a lot of these pieces seem like they're similar to Aime Leon Dore is because there was a designer there. His name is Aaron Levine. He was VP of design, and I'm not totally sure, but I believe he did some design work for Aime Leon Dore. Again, not totally sure, but there is an affiliation there between Aaron and Teddy Santis. An affordable version of Aime should exist. And you know, Aime's not the originator of all that. Just lengthwise of the entire jacket, by the way, I think if they fixed the shoulders, you know, because it's a little bit bunched up in the shoulder area if you wear a hoodie underneath it, you can see it. These type of jackets are originally designed so that you can wear a blazer underneath them and you could rock this like to the office or something like that. I wasn't sure which sneakers to go with, so I ultimately went with the 996s, but the 574s, they'd work well too, I think, right? Do me a favor. Let me know if you guys have copped anything from Abercrombie & Fitch since the rebrand. If you've been shopping there and you want to recommend something to me, feel free to hit the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely hit that thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you're new around here. A lot more sneaker and fashion talk on the way. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.